It's been the biggest week of 17-year-old Portsmouth defender Alec Totten's professional life. He only signed forms this week, but today he plays only his second full game at left back in a match that could test the nerve of far more experienced players. For that reason, Pompey manager Jim Smith will be pleased to welcome back a senior pro like Warren Neal, who's been out for 2.5 months. And that is only a consolation, with captain Kit Simons and midfielder Mark Stimpson now joining an alarming injury list. The lively Paul Hall also returns as the third change for the team that lost 2-0 at Luton. Sunderland's Craig Russell is asked to play a different role as a through-the-middle striker. The man who misses out is Don Goodman. The club's most valuable player pays for a barren spell of 11 games without a goal. Goodman is on the bench. Martin Gray is recalled in place of Ian Snowden, whose loan spell is now over. Gordon Armstrong is on the bench. And Sunderland, like Portsmouth, are looking to avoid a third successive defeat. Referee Steve Dunn from Bristol. Sunderland get us underway, playing from right to left. An afternoon that's really important for both these two teams, who find themselves uncomfortably near the wrong end of the table, when clubs of their tradition and pedigree expect to fare rather better in this division. Portsmouth's home form has been desperately disappointing. Only one win in the last 9 home league and cup games, despite winning the first 2. While away from home, Sunderland are far more impressive than at Roker. 12 of their 21 points have come on their travels for the Roker men. Back by Kevin Ball. Bowers with a flick on, looking for Gray. Didn't come as far as him, but it's still Sunderland going. Good run through the middle by Martin Gray it was. Chopping up there in a central position. And that's opened up space in the midfield, and Portsmouth are looking to exploit that. Break definitely on. This is Hall out wide, who's got a fair turn of pace, as Richard Ord is about to find out. Skips around the Sunderland defender and gets the crossing. Craney there is waiting. McLaughlin hooks it back across the face of the goal, and suddenly, from Sunderland being on the attack and threatening Alan Knight's goal, Portsmouth launched a really stinging counter-attack. Hall was the instigator with some good work out wide and got the cross in on the end of it. Craney across the face of the goal, McLaughlin looking to turn it on target and a yard or so away. Burton, back for Neal. Nice run from midfield there by McLaughlin. He took a good position. Craney can't get the second go at it, can he? Melville challenging. Melville playing it out quite calmly in the end. Nicely played there, finding hours, and Sunderland often moving again. Gray forced deep by the attentions of John Gittins. Kubicki. Russell having a look around him first, but it didn't reach him. That one does find Smith, though. Russell and Gray in the middle. Russell with a good turn and a good goal. An excellent goal there. And the manager's decision to push Craig Russell forward, paying a dividend after 19 minutes. Sunderland supporters who've made the long trip get a reward. Careless defending gave the possession to Smith. Russell, what an excellent turn. And with the right foot, the shot just creeps in inside that near post. Smith looking up. The two youngsters, products of last season, nonchalantly flicked in. Good turn. Dobson left for dead, and the keeper bypassed as well. So Craig Russell, his 4th of the season, and putting Sunderland in command. Portsmouth 0, Sunderland 1, just coming up to the 20-minute mark. Smith playing an important part in that goal, that little touch forward, but the defending that led to it will give Jim Smith nightmares. knocking it forward, and Russell is away again. Totten, the defender. Nice 1-2 with Hours. Russell still has to get the ball across, and he had to settle for the corner kick. And Sunderland, again, putting on rather more impressive a performance than they ever seem to manage on their own territory. And it's caught Portsmouth cold. Pompey, with their miserable home record, now really looking for a way back into this game. Defeat for Portsmouth would really set them deep into the mire. Not on by Gray there. And it's another goal. Melville finishing off at the far post. Portsmouth all over the place, and Sunderland get another two in 2 minutes. Corner kick, nodded on by Phil Gray. Powell bypassed, and Melville followed up, said thanks a lot. Crucial flick on, and the finish too strong for Alan Knight. So Andy Melville turning up there on the far post, and not the header this time that proves crucial, but the side foot first time finish. Jim Smith down on the bench now and steaming as only Jim can. He'll certainly be aware that his team is really in danger of letting this whole season slip away from them. Martin Smith again. Tracked all the way by Robbie Pethick. Gray twisting and turning all the way and getting the shot in. Just to hit the target was the achievement from the position he set off. Always looking to roll his man and fire the shot in on the volley, bouncing just in front of the keeper, but dealt with confidently. Smith getting in the way of that one, but getting a second chance now. And looking for Russell. Totten, the defender, and playing it away, but again, not really clearing the danger thoroughly. Hours keeping Sunderland on the move. Atkinson. Hours. Gray. Kubicki, thinking about an attack himself perhaps. Russell. And they were looking almost vulnerable again until Warren Neal took up a sensible position. Gray. Got the penalty. Tackle there by the number 9, Darryl Powell. And Sunderland really have got the chance to put this game in the bag. Smith calm with his square pass, unlike Powell, who was rash with the challenge. Gray to take revenge, no problem at all. Sunderland 3 up now, and Portsmouth looking a desperate team. Alan Knight with no chance there, and what a trip down it's been for the Sunderland fans. Phil Gray punishing Portsmouth and getting up and tucking away the penalty with great aplomb. Burton easily robbed. There's the half-time whistle, the form book right with a real vengeance. Portsmouth, the team, a disaster at home, going from bad to even worse. Sunderland once again looking a completely different team since Craig Russell put them on their way after 19 minutes. Melville got a second a couple of minutes later, and it's been all the Roker men with Phil Gray's penalty 3 minutes before half-time, putting them in an absolutely commanding position. Portsmouth 0, Sunderland 3 at half-time. Second half underway. away then, and reports from the dressing room area suggest that the foundations have been well and truly shaken by a fair Jim Smith blasting to the home team at half-time. And he's already brought on Frecky at half-time in place of Alan McLaughlin to try and do something about a disastrous position for Portsmouth. Nice little touch there for Hours, moving up in his space. Tottenham was fairly swiftly across and needed to be, with Hours really galloping down that right-hand side. Good turn by Phil Gray. Opened up the room for the shot. Well, he bobbled a little bit, I think, but he sliced it and will be disappointed with the final effort after opening up the way for himself in expert style, letting the ball do most of the work, but wrong-footing the defender Tony Dobson. Clear run at goal, and he got well underneath it. For Hours. Hours is away from Tottenham. Sunderland pressing forward yet again. Gray, Martin, Atkinson rather getting in there, and Sunderland get the free kick. Gittins not looking too pleased, but definitely committing the handball. Now this could be interesting for Sunderland and potentially highly dangerous for Portsmouth, who are organising a fairly substantial wall in front of Alan Knight's goal. Gray, Ord, Smith all there. Kavitsky is just only a picture. Ord, not that far away. Richard Ord's got a bit of a reputation for coming up with the real gem when he does score them. And he can curl them. Not quite enough swerve on that one, but it was close enough for Alan Knight's comfort. Ball, a neat touch forward. That wasn't quite so accurate from Hours. Powell and Martin Gray getting involved there. Gray suggesting that he got a hand off there, but the grin shows just how much he was rattled by that. And the referee, quite wisely, not overreacting to either player's little contretemps there. It's hit deep there. Craney trying to get an arm in there, and Powell, one back to Portsmouth. Darryl Powell, a really clean strike. And Portsmouth last give their supporters something to cheer about on what's been a desperately bleak afternoon for them. Powell, the real Mr. Versatility in this team, coming forward from midfield, latching onto that one. Really clean strike, left foot, right in the back of the net. And Powell, his 8th of the season, only half cleared. Powell, no hesitation at all, and Chamberlain unsighted and with no chance. Powell then, goal number 8, giving Portsmouth some hope that there might be a way back for them. They'll have to keep this game really on the ball. Smith, back for Gray, and Knight had to use his feet first, but primarily his head. So 3-1 now, and the action never waning. Jim Smith, perhaps believing that the half-time roasting, for want of a better expression, might have paid off in some small way, with at least one goal back already. Gittins with a big boot forward. Melville, the defender, bit of arm wrestling going on there. Craney, not a bad opening at all. And a similar thought, I'm sure, going through the striker of Jerry Craney's capabilities mind. And he pulled at that one when he would have been expecting, by his own standards, to hit the target. Chamberlain looking a mite vulnerable there. Pethick for Burton. Rainey tight marked by Kevin Ball. It's a good ball. Again, Sunderland defending at full stretch. Gray trying to latch onto that, but that was a good challenge there from Tottenham. And Portsmouth building up a bit of a head of steam here, and certainly the crowd responding, getting behind the home side and making sure that Sunderland are certainly not allowed to coast through this second half. Rainey. Russell is in the wide position. Gray knew it. Here comes Russell. Good work by the keeper, who had to be positive and came right out and cut down any sort of angle at all for Craig Russell. But he's got some real speed when he gets moving. Knight doing all that was required. O'Neill. Easy for him to intercept that one and try and set up another Pompey attack. Got plenty of men forward here, Portsmouth. Pethick, Craney. The close marking of Kevin Ball was enough to make life difficult. Craney may be thinking that he drew the foul from Ball. Pethick getting it in quickly. And Ball ready to challenge all the way down the line. Towell. For Pethick. Neal. Can look a fairly useful side, Portsmouth, when they zip the passes together in midfield. Preki again opening up, or looking to open up room, but there were plenty of red and white striped shirts ahead, and Sunderland know that they can exploit the break because Portsmouth are constantly pushing players forward. Hours played it in there, and Knight had a look at it before he was quite sure he could let it go. There will be opportunities for the quick counter-attack with Portsmouth with no option but to throw everything to try to get back in the game. Somebody chucked something on the pitch. It's a bottle, but it looks as though it may be one of those plastic lemonade types that irritating, but not necessarily going to cause too much harm. However, it does look as though it's full. It might make a difference. Obviously, match officials can't tolerate any sort of behaviour like that. Passing the message on to the policeman, and somebody on the far side not doing his club's cause too many favours there. Martin Gray with another determined burst from midfield. He's certainly been lively in pressing forward when he's had the opportunities. Have gone up most times from any collision with a big grin on his face. Again, a reflection of the scoreline. Portsmouth with the defending to do here. Martin Smith with the delivery. Yellow card there for Martin Smith, I presume for delaying too long in taking the kick. Sure, the referee knows what he's doing, but it looks a little pedantic from where I'm sitting. Smith can take all the time he wants when the ball's in play. Not one to release it rashly. And they'll settle for another throw in there, courtesy of Dion Burton. Gray on the wrong end of that. They're going to get back in the middle and on the right end of whatever might follow. Again, Smith, the man with the leisurely approach to getting the ball delivered. Ord. Can we get round Pethick? And another corner kick, and Portsmouth unable to shove Sunderland out of the home side's defensive zone. Curled in dangerously towards the near post. Good punch there from Knight. Back in by Ord. Hours now. He can lift it over the top. And that's it. That's for number 4. And surely that is the points well and truly in the bag for Sunderland. Smith there, finishing it off. The big smile on a day when the cheers, the applause and the grins have all had a Wearside accent. Lifted forward by Hours, there are appeals for offside as Gray knocked it on. He was ready to applaud himself, and Smith made sure that that ball ended up in the back of the net. Smith, who was just booked a minute or two ago for taking his time, with all the time in the world, to nod that one in for goal number 4. Look at those fans from Wearside. One of the London supporters will be there, and they salute. Tremendous victory for the visitors from Wearside, whereas for Portsmouth, a day of utter devastation. Gray's penalty put Sunderland 3 up at half-time and left Portsmouth with no prospect at all of getting back into this game. They did rally with their second-half performance, but it was all over for them by the time that Smith added Sunderland's 4th in the closing minutes. It's Portsmouth 1, Sunderland 4, all the joy for Mick Buxton's side.